Alright, this is Andrew with Jonah Home Inspections. We are doing a sewer scope today here in West Valley. Today is February 25th, 2026, and we have the camera pushed out 100 feet. We're at 5067 West White Diamond Way. 100 feet is a pretty average length of a sewer line. That first connection point is called the nose on, and that's where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. Now you're going to notice a fair amount of buildup, and that's because I think this line has a little bit of a belly. You'll notice pretty quickly that we start to go underwater. Honestly, it looks like a lot of that drained. It was holding a lot more water before, and that might have been because of this buildup causing a little bit of a blockage. If you can clean a line and it not hold water, that means that you have good grade. And so sometimes you'll have standing water because of just purely bad grade. Sometimes it's a blockage, which is better. A blockage you can clear, but the only way to fix bad grade is to dig up the line and re-slope it. 90 feet out, starting to go under a little bit of water here. And I'm not running water, and so any standing water that we see is just stagnant. Not very long, about 5 feet long. Enough buildup that you might consider having it cleaned out. You could jet that out and it would, I think, come out pretty easily. Otherwise, you want to avoid putting things down the line that you shouldn't be, like wet wipes or excessive amounts of grease, oil, fat. Based on what I've seen so far, if we see a lot more standing water, we'll address that when we get to it. This is PVC pipe. That's an access point. So that white transition, it goes up to ground level, and so there's another spot to access the line outside the house, usually right outside the foundation or front porch. And now we're going through ABS, which is a different type of plastic. It performs in a similar way to PVC. "22 feet out, starting to go through a little standing water. Not the worst. Not even enough to cover my camera head. Not a ton of buildup through there, so maybe a touch flat, but not incredibly long, not incredibly deep. And one comment I want to make, it looks like you have basically a sump pump pit. So right next to the floor drain in the basement, you have this big opening. That looks like a sump pump pit, which is used to collect groundwater. I am not certain, but I can look down inside the pit, and it looks like there's a pipe that heads off towards the floor drain. It's possible it ties into the sewer system. They're not supposed to. You're not supposed to put groundwater into the sewage system because then they have to process all that at the reclamation plant. You're supposed to take groundwater and move it outside. But I would monitor that and just watch for any significant amounts of standing water. If it does build up, you want to add a pump to it. I'm going to end this recording now.